Good evening, hello and welcome to 100% LCFC. My name's Phil and this is our regular Monday night fan zone show. So get your views in, get your comments in, let me know what you thought to Saturday's game. What did you think to Leicester beating 2-1, beating Burnley 2-1? Pretty good game, I thought. I thought it was a better game than most of the lads I chatted to after the match, who didn't seem too wowed by it, but I don't know. I thought it was decent. I'm more than happy with what I saw on Saturday. Not going to say it was the best game ever, but I thought it was. I was entertained. I enjoyed it, and I thought most of all we got the win. Good evening to Baz Shaw, Matthew Bond, Ernie Simmons, all watching. Get your views in. Liam Batchelor, good evening to you, and Dave Felstead. How are you, Dave? Good to hear from you, Matthew. Thank you for that. Keith Goodall is watching. Get your views in and get your comments in. We will, of course, talk about Vichai and the walk for Vichai. I thought that went very, very well. Let me know what you thought to that. Hopefully, for those of you who couldn't get to the game or couldn't do the walk for whatever reason, I know a few of you struggled to get down there in time. So hopefully the coverage that we did from various aspects of the walk was brought the flavour to you. I'm not going to say entertaining. Good evening, Sean. How are you? I think, Sean, aren't you out in Skeggville tonight? Have fun over there, Sean. Ernie Simmons, good evening. Phil Scotting, good evening. Keith Robinson, hello. Simon Swain is watching. What did you think to the walk, Simon? Did you see any of it? Did you go on the walk? Let me know. Thanks. Liam is saying he loved the pictures. Thanks for that, Liam. Well done to all the guys from 100% LCFC who brought you some of that. I'd like to say thanks to Don, who was all the way over in the States and was trying to hold together a brilliant live video. Also to people like James Harlow, who was highly involved in the walk. Tom Hoger did a fantastic live stream. He managed to get onto the... We were all struggling. There was too many phones around, so it was hard to get onto the internet to do live streams, but Tom did one virtually all the way from the front. So Tom and James and Anthony and Chappers were at the front, leading the walk down, which was great to see. Myself, Simon and Sam, we decided to, we wanted to walk down with the crowd, so we were right in the thick of it. There was smoke flares going off, loads of chanting where we were, which was really good. I made a video of it again. That's on YouTube if you want to watch that. I did share it yesterday on here as well. So hopefully that little video montage brought you the flavour from the middle of the walk. And the lads like Tom covered it very well in the live streams on Saturday. Amanda Harris is saying, just want to say, come Vichai will be proud of his family and Leicester City all the way. I think that's great words, Amanda. Matthew Bond saying it was great coverage, brilliant coverage on Saturday for us faraway foxes, much appreciated. No problems at all, Matthew. That's why we did it. There was times where I thought, I don't know if I want to do live streaming or not from a walk like that, because it is just a remembrance walk. But I know there's a lot of you guys who can't get down to the match. You might live in Leicester and can't get to the match. You might live in Australia or Canada like we know some of you do, or Spain. So thanks for everybody who helped bring that back. Sean is saying he's back in Colville. Great job at the weekend. No worries, Sean. Hope you enjoyed it. Andy Medhurst is watching. Andy, what do you want to talk about tonight, Andy? Do you want to talk about the football? Do you want to talk about the walk? Who wants to talk about Ben Chilwell? I've had a bit of a rant on YouTube earlier today about Ben Chilwell. Go and watch that on there. See what you think to that. I know a lot of you don't agree with my views on Ben Chilwell, but hey, we're all allowed our different views. So let me know what you think to that. Paul Spilling is saying the whole day was a credit to Leicester City Football Club. Well done to all. Yes, it was, wasn't it? The club, again, top, all his family, the board, the chairman, they all deserve a credit for what they did on Saturday because it did work out very well. Well done to Glenn Leicester and all the people who organised the Walk for Leicester group of fans. It was a great idea last year and worked ever so well this year again. I'm not really sure how many fans were on it. Somebody said there was 5,000. It felt a lot more than 5,000 fans, if I'm honest, on that walk. A lot more than that. So I don't know if anybody's seen actual figures. I don't know how they work out the real figures. Dave Felstead, Dave says, just glad that we won. Sometimes you just have to win ugly. I'm glad the walk went well for Vichai. Yeah, win ugly. I don't think it was that ugly, Dave. But a lot of fans were. I know I was talking with Tom and Chappers and Anthony and even James after the match. We did that video, which you put out there. A lot of the lads were like, weren't that impressed. I thought it was all right. We beat Burnley. They're not Muppets. They're decent. 2-1. We won. Luckily for VAR, maybe a little bit. Andy Meadows is saying, great March and great result, happy days. Terry Fuller, good evening, Terry. Nice of you to get here on time, Terry. Only 5 minutes late, Terry. Welcome to the match. Sean Sarson, hello, Sean, how are you? Good evening to you. And Stephen Price. Rob Sturgis says, how many people on the walk, Rob? I've just talked about that. I thought there was well over 10,000 fans, but I heard some things about 5,000. Ivan is saying, I believe that we can be in the UEFA competitions this season. From Ivan Nylander in Sierra Leone. That's a way away. Ivan, welcome for watching. Sean Sarson saying it was a good win for Vichai. It was. Chappers is watching. Good evening, Chappers. What did you reckon, Chappers, to Ben Chilwell? Do you agree with my little views or not? Joanna Astley. Saw you, Joanna, on Saturday. Hope you're well. I still want you to come on the camera, Joanna. You're loitering around. Come on, come and chat with us. We know you want to get on again. Stuart Child saying, sell him, make what we can. Talking about Ben Chilwell. Scooby's watching. Hi, Scooby. How are you? Jamie from the Fox's Arms. The Fox's Arms is shut. You can't get a beer there. Jamie is now on his... he's on his holidays. Feet up time for Jamie. He's worked like a trooper all summer, serving everybody beer and chips. And not now... open. Not until March, April. Is it April, Jamie? Anyway, Fox's Arms was packed and Jamie said that the minute silence in the pub was adhered to fantastically well. You could hear a pin drop, he says, which is not bad for a pub, which wasn't just full of Leicester fans. Anyway, Jordan, good evening, Jordan Williams, saying Maddison was poor on Saturday. Every cross went to them. That's interesting, Jordan, because not everybody, a lot of people seem to be having a go at Ben Chilwell yesterday. I don't understand how we can win 2-1 and we are third in the Premier League and people still need a scapegoat. And at the moment, last year, before it was Wes Morgan, it's been other people. God, I can remember loads. I mean, you can mention some scapegoats from the past if you want in this live video. I can think of a few players over the past years for Leicester City who've been made out to a scapegoat. It feels a bit like Wes Morgan had a bit of it recently, and Ben Chilwell seems to be coming for it. But yeah, Maddison didn't have an amazing game on Saturday, not by his high standards, Jordan. I agree. So, but obviously, Maddison doesn't come into any stick. I also would say we had a lot of corners on Saturday, not brilliantly put into the box. Anyway, I'm still pleased. Leslie Slattery is saying, I'm so proud to be a Leicester City supporter. Yeah, I mean, giving away those scarves, and they weren't even cheap scarves. I'm not being funny. I don't know if any of you else thought that. You walk in there and they say they're giving scarves away or anything. The club don't do things by halves, do they? That wasn't like a cheap scarf you might get off a market seller or the guys outside. That was a real quality scarf. That was like the scarves you get in the club shop. And yes, I have seen somebody put on there that people are selling them on eBay. I tell you what, if you were selling it and going to give the money to the Vichai Foundation, to the charity, then you'd almost do it. But pretty out of order. To be fair, I've saved my one. I'm giving it to Don, who's coming over, our far-flung fox. Don is getting mine. And he's coming over in a few weeks, and that's my way of just because he wasn't here. And I know there'd be loads of you guys watching who would love a scarf. So if you did have a scarf, if you don't want yours, if you did have a spare, did find one, whatever, give it to a fan who couldn't make it, because loads of people would love one of those. Don't sell them on eBay. That is pretty low, I would say, unless you're doing it for charity. Matthew Bond is saying, look, we're third in the Premier League, so we can still improve. Has to be positive. Matthew, I totally agree with you. That is exactly my opinion. Third in the Premier League. Listen, I know we won the Premier League a couple of years ago, but third, we should all be jumping around. Now listen, I'm going to scoot down to some of the bottom comments. So many comments coming in. Please keep getting your comments in. I'll try and read as many as I can, but there is so many there. Scott Clark is watching. Scott, get your views in. John Dyke says, WTF, we won and third in the best league in the world. Wake up, mate. That's exactly what I agree with you, John. That's what I'm saying. Andy Meadows is saying about the scarves, can't believe some knobs are selling them on eBay. Yes, they are, Andy. Can you believe it? TJ Chapman, hi TJ, saying I'm keeping my scarf. Well done. Brad Lingard. Brad, we're going to argue about this. Brad's saying sell Chilwell. What would you sell him for, Brad? How much money would you take for Ben Chilwell? There's been some big numbers rumoured around. And listen, Brendan Rodgers rates him. Gareth Southgate rates him. Pep Guardiola said very good things about him. Jurgen Klopp. There's a lot of the big teams in for Ben Chilwell. They're not muppets, those managers. But we're all allowed our own opinions on these players. For me, go to YouTube, you can see my full rant about it, but I just think Ben Chilwell didn't do anything much wrong on Saturday. I'm not saying he was amazing, but what did he really do wrong on Saturday? Put in the comments why you think Ben Chilwell had a bad game on Saturday, if you do, because I didn't see it. Rob Sturgis says, Brendan brings on the right subs at the right time. Gray's a great player to come on in the last 20 minutes to go. Rob, I couldn't agree with you more there, Rob, mate. To be fair, I thought Demarai Gray, he's almost doing it to himself, Demarai Gray. He is turning into a decent impact sub, because when he starts a game, like he did away at Man United, I think he just drifts and almost looks upset he started. He wants to start, we know he does, but Demarai Gray had a good impact on Saturday. Well played to him. Daniel Rogers is saying, I think this is about Ben Chilwell. Daniel's, I think, on my wavelength, going, what do those fans want? Replace a 22-year-old lad who will only get better with an ageing Fuchs who is in his final season at the club. Crazy. Daniel, that's my thinking, to be fair. Listen, I'm a big fan of Christian Fuchs, and he can certainly still do a job for us, like he did earlier in the season, but he's not going to be around forever. And I ask again, what did Ben Chilwell do particularly wrong on Saturday that he came in for all this grief? Ken Andrews is saying, hi, I saw that Brendan Rodgers was saying in the papers today, brackets, Ken, don't believe everything you read in the papers, by the way, but anyway, Ken says, today our wingers need to buck up. We can't keep relying on Vardy, and Ben Chilwell is class. Well, there you go. Jordan is saying there's a Kasabian gig in Victoria Park next year. Yes, there is. Well done on spotting that, Jordan. That looks good. Jazz Hayer says he wants a scarf. It's fine. Mick Bell, how are you, Mick? How's it going? Did you enjoy the game on Saturday, Mick? Sue Taylor's watching, and Mark Stevenson says Chilwell is quality, England international. I'm pleased to see a bit of positivity about Chile tonight on here, which is good, because I don't know, maybe it was the keyboard warriors out on my Sunday afternoon yesterday, but boy, there was a bit of arguing going on about Ben Chilwell, and I'm like, what? How can you be sat there Sunday afternoon, Leicester third in the Premier League, we've just won 2-1, done the walk for Vichai, how can you be sat there grumbling about anything to do with Leicester City? It's fantastic at the moment. Terry Fuller saying, Arsenal are playing tonight, I'm going to listen. They are, aren't they? Are they on at 8, Terry? Actually, we want Sheffield United to win. Was anybody else, by the way, yesterday slightly cheering Man United on? I was, because I'm looking up the table, not down the table. I'm looking up at Liverpool thinking we want to catch them. How crazy is that? Wanting Man United to beat Liverpool because we can catch the Liverpool at the top. Brett saying, good evening, Brett. How are you? Calm down, Brett, putting sensible comments in and not winding me up with there's a ghost behind your comments, Brett. But Brett saying every club in the league would love Ben Chilwell. We'd be crazy not to want him. I'm with you, Brett, on that. Andy Price saying a win's a win. We showed patience and didn't panic. Had to win ugly. And it wasn't that ugly. I thought it was all right. People saying win ugly. I don't think it was that bad. Lewis, I agree with you. Lewis Aswav, I don't know if I said that right, Lewis, saying Morgan shouldn't have come on. It seemed to upset things, Lewis, didn't it, when Morgan came on? Because I tell you what it does. It says to the other team, we are going to we are defending this. We are not going to attack you. We are going to defend. And to be fair, Soyuncu and Johnny Evans hadn't done much wrong all game. Although Chris Wood had caused some trouble. Again, their first goal with Chris Wood. And Casper went mental at Ben Chilwell. But I've got to be fair, Chilwell's there to try and stop the cross coming in. But the fact that he didn't, that doesn't mean the goal's his fault, because people could clear it. The central defenders or the defensive people could have cleared the header. And I'm not being funny, maybe Casper could have done a bit better with that as well. Could have come out and claimed it. I think we need to talk about VAR, guys. So I want your views on VAR, because 2 weeks ago when we got stuffed by VAR up at Liverpool, we were all moaning the buggery out of it on Monday. So let's not dodge the subject tonight, because in my books, VAR very, very much came and saved us from that. And I'm not a fan of VAR much at all. If it's going to work, VAR should stop all this debate and argument, because it should put things right. This is my beef with VAR. If we're going to have it, we need to use it so that it stops people from having this argument about it, but in fact it just seems to cause more arguments. And my biggest beef with VAR, get your views in, get your comments in, is it is beyond, and I could really swear now, unfair and annoying and crap on us fans who are in the ground. It really is genuinely like whoever's in charge of VAR and whoever's sorting it out, I don't know if it's different at other grounds, but at Leicester, whoever is sorting out the communication on the screens, it is like they don't give a flying monkeys about us in the ground with the VAR communication. People like Don, who's watching it quite legitimately over in the States on NBC, will have seen that and seen several replays and will have the commentators and will be understanding what is going on with the VAR. When Don comes over and sits in the King Power Stadium in a couple of weeks with us guys, he'll know the same as us, which is all. And it's just frustrating. Now, that's my beef over. What are your views on VAR? I think we got away with it for VAR. I thought the touch on Johnny Evans was minute. I think if that was the other way round and Jamie Vardy was scoring that goal and there was that faintest of touch and Tarkowski had gone down, you would be screaming blue murder if that had been the other way round. That's my views. I certainly would have. I'll admit it. I think we were very, very lucky. Let's get your comments on VAR. Rob Sturgis saying VAR, we should be able to see the replays at the ground. You're better off watching at home. I agree, Rob. That's my most annoying thing is you are now, it's official, you're better off watching from home, down the pub, wherever you can watch the game. And we all know you can watch the games now. It's 2 clicks and you can watch the game live anywhere in the world. You can do it. You all know it. I know it. The club should know it. But it's now better, in some ways, you know what's going on if you're not in the ground. To be fair, the VAR decision, in the end, the bloke in front of me had to search the internet and he found out on the internet while the game's still going on and then explained it to everybody round here what was going on. And that took over 5. It's just poor. Matthew Bond saying VAR is here to stay. It needs fine-tuning. They need to look at the roundabout system. I'm not sure about that roundabout system. To be fair, Matthew, all they need to bloody do is look at the rugby. I've been down the Tigers. I've said to you that they've got it sorted. It's not rocket science. Just look how it's communicated. Ken Andrews saying VAR equals verified arseholes reviewing. Yeah. Terry Fuller saying it turns out Liverpool nor Man United have even got a big screen. I know. Well, that's unlucky for them. They've got 2 big grounds and they've forgot to put screens in. Well, they need to just put screens in. They can both afford to do it. Just put screens in at those clubs and get it sorted. We've got screens and we don't use them. To be fair, it took over a minute for it to even say there was a VAR check on the screen. We all know there is because we can see the ref doing this and he's paused. But then it showed the clip of the Evans-Chris Wood thing for about 4 seconds in a flash, and it didn't then say why it was ruled out or anything. That's my frustration. Put it on the screen that it's a VAR decision. It's been ruled out for a foul. Rob Sturgis is saying Evans would have got it. I'm not sure on that, Rob, at all. I'm not sure on that. The pace was going in. If that was Jamie Vardy the other way round, I'm not sure you'd be saying that. I think you'd be saying it was going in. And I've got to be fair, it was a bit of a disastrous goal anyway, regardless of it being VAR. Andy Price saying, I thought it was for a handball, not a trip. Didn't know till I got home. I agree with you, Andy. We thought it was for a handball after watching the replay. We thought that's what it must have been given for, handball. Dave Griffiths is watching. Good evening, Dave. What do you think to VAR? Dale Hines, of course. VAR, we all forget it was invented by Claude Puel. He insisted it was brought into the Premier League. This is Claude Puel. Everything to do with VAR is Claude Puel's fault. That's Dale Hines saying that. And of course, Dale, we know that is, of course, anything that goes wrong in the world, and let's not even get on to Brexit, is Claude Puel's fault. Jake Palmer saying, was you at the walk yesterday? Not yesterday, I was at the walk on Saturday, Jake. Yes, were you? How was it? Dave Lowsby saying they should take note of the Rugby World Cup. It works perfect. It does. VAR should work perfectly. You just need to, they've got the system now. They just need to work out how they're doing it. It makes you pull your hair out, doesn't it? Because they could fix it instantly. They just need to sit down this week and get it sorted. Gray saying, I thought refs could check the screen at the side of the pitch like in the World Cup. I've not seen one ref do it as yet. I believe, Gray, if the stats are right, there's been 90 Premier League games this season. That's 90 Premier League games. Every ground has got a screen on the side the ref can go and look at. The ref in 90 games of 90 minutes, God knows how many minutes that is, 90 times 9, lots. Is it 8,100 minutes? It's got to be way more than that, isn't it? Somebody do the maths. 90 games, 90 minutes. Ref hasn't looked at the screen on the side of the pitch once. What does that tell you? That the VAR is not working as it did in the World Cup. Chris Jones is saying, love VAR when it helps us out, but we're on the wrong end of VAR against Liverpool. Woods did the same touch that Mane got. Yeah, but Chris, this is what I'm saying as Leicester fans. Look, you can't say, oh, VAR was wrong. Well, I don't know. Maybe we were still, I don't know, what do you think? I just thought we were lucky on Saturday with that VAR call. I really do. I thought we were a little unlucky at Liverpool. John saying VAR is okay, it's the people making the decisions, although didn't use the word peoples. Andy Price saying Wood didn't really celebrate, so he knew something had happened. True. I think that goal would have stood without VAR being there. Terry Fuller saying, don't you listen to Radio Leicester at the ground? Terry, I don't, Do you know what? I don't. I don't want to. I've never listened to the radio at the football. Do any of you lot listen to the radio at the football, the commentary? It's an interesting one. I don't think I'd want to listen to Radio Leicester while I'm at the ground. No offence to Stringers and Owen and the guys down there and Pipes. They do a great job, but I'm too busy in the moment, Terry. I'm too busy singing the songs and clapping along and chatting with my people around me. Chris Forian, good evening, Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Don't forget, go over to Chris and Leicester Till I Die's Facebook and group pages. Hope you're well, Chris. What did you think, Chris? If you were watching it on some sort of method on Saturday and not at the game, you probably knew exactly what was going on, and I didn't. Brett is saying something at the darts about Pure. I didn't see that, Brett. I did watch a bit of the darts the other day, and there was some very good, well played to Leicester people who were in the crowd at the PDC darts at the Morningside Arena. There were some very funny signs, not suitable for BBC Two, a lot of them. So I'm surprised they allow that to go on. Andrew Smith saying, right, let's take Andrew. Let's see what he's saying. He's saying, I don't really get you on this Chilwell thing, Phil. Even though we won and have been winning, he has been poor. His defending is poor. He makes no assists and doesn't ever get a goal. He is becoming a passenger. If the fans want to talk about this, then so be it. Also, being third in the league in October means nothing. Why would you be jumping about it? Okay, Andrew, that's fine. And I get it that quite a lot of fans are not seeing brilliant stuff in Ben Chilwell. I'm not seeing amazing stuff in Chilwell this season, Andrew. I'm just not seeing that much bad stuff. I'm not seeing him make that many mistakes. To be fair, I'm seeing plenty of Leicester players, including Chilwell, making the odd mistakes. I've certainly seen Maddison take 10 very poor corners on Saturday. I've seen people give the ball away. Casper not come out. I'm not grumbling about it. And the reason I'm excited that Leicester are third in the Premier League in October is because in 40-something years of watching Leicester, that's not happened many times, Andrew. That's why I'm excited. Because there's a chance that we're in October, we're on 17 points after 9 games, is it? I'm forgetting my stats. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited this season. So I am prepared to get carried away. We all pay our money to go down and watch football. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? To be enjoying it and loving it. If you're excited, right, I'm going to do this one. If you're excited that Leicester are third in the Premier League, like me, put in a like, give me a like and let me know. Because, right, Andrew, look, I'm going to go and get something and show you. We've won this once. I want us to win this again. I've dreamt the dream like you lot have. I want it twice. And we're 7 points off Liverpool. It's a big ask this season. We're doing better than the Premier League winning season. So, Andrew, that's why I'm excited, because we're doing better than the year we actually won this. Now, I know Liverpool are looking good, but they just dropped points yesterday. We could have took points off them. This season is wide open. Spurs look rubbish. Arsenal look pretty average. Chelsea look beatable. Man United are not in it. This season's up for grabs, like the year we won it. I'm not saying we're going to win the Premier League. I'm not being that daft. Wouldn't mind. Who thinks we should go down the bookies tomorrow? But that's why I'm getting excited, Andrew. And that's why I talk of Chilwell. Trust me, I remember the 80s and the 90s. We've all been in League One together. I've watched David Pleat's Leicester City. I've watched so much crap down there that the year we're doing well, this year, I am going to get excited about it, mate. So you can't calm me down on it. Anyway, Matthew Bond says, I share your excitement. Come on, Matthew, that's what we want. We've had some bloody poor years in the 20 years you've been following. We've had some great times, but out of 40 years I've been watching them, I would say most of them have not been great years. Ross Howard, hello Ross, I hope you're well. Only 3 times we've been in the top 4 by this time. That was in 2000, 2002 under Peter Taylor. Be careful what you wish for. 2015 and 16 Ranieri. And now 2019 and 20 with Rodgers. This is, Andrew, why we're getting excited. Because it doesn't happen every year. Chapper's saying I don't need to go to the bookies because I keep taking money off him. I do. Listen, if any of you haven't seen, we're doing this new thing. It's on Chapper's podcast, but we've been pushing it as well. It's called Who Knows Wins. It's a little app. It is a betting app, but not really, because just anybody who plays. If there's last week there was 15 Leicester fans, myself and Chappers were in it. You all put in £5 each on this app, and then you predict 5 or 6 of the results between us, and whoever gets it right takes the money. There was a first, second and third, and I'm pleased to tell you that I took Chapper's money and some of the others off them. I didn't come first, but I still won a bit. Ken Andrews saying, well said Phil, let's be positive. Onwards and upwards. Who can not be positive at the moment as a Leicester fan? This is why I'm cross about people with Ben Chilwell. Bloody hell. Let's name some players who are not as good as Ben Chilwell in your Leicester City history. Because there's bloody loads of them who aren't as good as Ben Chilwell. Absolutely bloody loads of them. I come from an era where I remember seeing decent players. I'm not having a go at people like Mark North or Tommy English or some of these, but they were not playing at the top level like these guys are and the England squad. And for people to be able to go at Ben Chilwell, I'm just, well, go back to 2008 and 9 and go down back to League One. If you and the players we had when we were away at Yeovil, it was exciting. But anyway, Maxine Johnson saying, I want a cup, the Carabao or the FA Cup and a top 4 placing, excited about the prospect. Exactly. Do you know what? I was all about the League Cup, and I know we've got Burton coming up very soon. All about the League Cup, but hey, I tell you what, I'm getting very, very excited about the league. Junior Lewis, thank you for that, Tom. Let's have some more of your players who maybe aren't as good as Ben Chilwell. Tom says Junior Lewis, very good. Carl Coles is watching from Cyprus, good evening. Jake Palmer saying, watch out, Europe will finish in the top 3 or 4. Ross Howard is saying, remember John Curtis? I don't remember John Curtis. Ben Thatcher, I remember that. And Eric Johansson. I don't remember them. Obviously, not very memorable players. Let's have some more. Chris Forian saying Junior Lewis. Adi Ekinbaya. Not as good as Ben Chilwell. Different players, I know. Daz Eden. Don't have a go at Tony Spearing, mate. Tony Spearing was all right, but he's not as good as Ben Chilwell. You're right, Daz. You're right. Lewis is saying he likes the trophy. Who wouldn't like this? We want more of it. We want more of that. People just love to have a moan, says Brett. I share your excitement. I want to run down Filbert Way with my Leicester pants on my head shouting Blue Army. I'll tell you what, Brett, if we're still in the top 4 at Christmas, I want to see that video of you doing that, mate. Okay, do you promise me you'll do that, Brett? Andy Price is saying, our only current full England international, yet somehow He's not good enough for us. Amazing. I agree. Go to YouTube, have a look. I have had a bit of a moan on there. Neil Bennett saying less negativity with Leicester City. Dave Loseby and Lewis is saying AD Akinbaye. Remember the Irish left back. This is Simon Heighton saying this. Remember the Irish left back. I think he got sold when he was about 23. Didn't make it. One of the many. Chilwell top player. I'm not sure. Who are you talking about, Simon? Nacho. That's a bit harsh going into the current squad of players who aren't as good as Ben Chilwell. But I know what you mean, Aaron. Yes, Joanna Aston is saying, started watching City under Pleat. I still stuck around. Listen, I started watching Leicester well before David Pleat, Joanna. But if you came in during David Pleat's era and stuck with Leicester City, you deserve a bloody medal. Trust me, that was the darkest of dark days. Ross Howard is saying Leicester legend Dennis Wise with a lol, a big lol at the end of that. Chappers is saying, I don't want much, maybe a European spot, a cup final, or preferably my money back. He's still moaning about this money. Look out for the links on that. Ross Howard is saying Lee Marshall, lol. Who is Lee Marshall? I've seen his name out a bit. Alan Rogers, says Daniel, ex-Forest. Simon is saying AD bad bye. Brett saying, if I do it, run down Filbert Street with his pants on his head if I'll do it with him. If we're still in the top 4 at Christmas. I'll do it with trousers on or shorts. I'm not doing it stark, let's put it that way. We'll both be in prison, Brett. Alan Mabry was amazing, says Andy Young. Dennis Bloody Wise, says Chris Forian. Ryan McGiven, says Ross Howard. I'll tell you what, there's some players in there I'm not recognising any of these. Not Graham Fenton was all right, Chappers, wasn't he? He was all right. Jack Marston is saying Hernandez. Aaron is saying Graham Pearson. Loads of these. Lewis is saying Johan Benalouan didn't quite make it. Listen, Conrad Logan, he was all right. Conrad Loney. We got well sidetracked. That was Andrew, I think. Well done for Andrew's comments. He's not come back with another comment. I like to think you lot can all have your view, but there will be some times where you'll set me off and bite me. Chappers is saying well done to Gary Jakes for the walk on Saturday. Yeah, indeed, well done to all the guys who organised that walk. It wasn't us at 100%. We just helped promote it and broadcast some of it so that you guys could see it live. So Chappers is there saying well done to Gary Jakes. So well done to him. Lewis is saying Lewis Hernandez have got an assist from a throw-in at the Champions League. Matt Mills, Jack Marston is saying yes. Matt Mills, £5 million I think we bought him for, and then we couldn't give him away. Good night, Terry's off. Mancini, says Chris Ball. Mancini was decent. I'll tell you what, he did one of the best touches in a Leicester City shirt I've ever seen when he brought a ball down from over the back of his head. Ross Howard, Jermaine Beckford. Yes, he's not in my top players at Leicester. If you went to Peterborough away, you'll know why that day. Jake Palmer saying the walk was brilliant. It certainly was. And Chris Forian, we're about to finish. You can't say Spider Calac. You can't say Spider Calac wasn't amazing. Spider Calac got Leicester City promoted back to the Premier League, Chris. You know that as well as I do. If Spider Calac hadn't walked onto the pitch doing his bit of a warm-up to go and save the penalties, we wouldn't have got promoted that game. I'm sure many of you remember that. The Crystal Palace playoff final. Love a playoff final. Jake asking, was I there at the walk? Yes, I was there. It was very good. I was right in the middle of it. I wasn't at the front. I wanted to be in the middle of it and enjoy it, soak up the atmosphere and just do my bit of the walk. Keith Goodall, I agree with you, telling Chris, whoa, this is Keith says, whoa, leave Spider alone. I'm with you on that, Keith. You can't say that. Andy Price saying Beckford gets a pass because of his hat-trick against Forest. Neil's watching. Hi, Neil. How are you? Chris is now laughing. Lee Chappers is saying, I bet Jordan Williams will go to the Kasabian gig. I'm sure he will. People have to remember, this is Aaron Lally saying, people have to remember Chilwell is still young and is adjusting without Maguire. Will take time as Perez and Barnes. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Listen, we what did we pay for Ben Chilwell? Nothing, I don't think, because he's come from within our ranks. we've got Perez, for me, really not firing on all cylinders. We paid 30 million for Perez. And, you know, I'm not going to lay into Perez. I just think he's settling in. Or he's doing okay. What I said, we said this before the game on Saturday. Leicester at the moment, we feel like we're almost, it's not one player, it's several players, it's all the players coming together. They're almost acting like a machine at Leicester at the moment, and it's becoming a well-oiled machine. So they're little cogs in it. Chilly's like the fullback in it, and they're being asked to do a lot at the back, playing out from the back. So he is getting a lot of the ball. I don't see him giving it away. I don't see him wasting it a lot. I think we're doing well. Neil saying, what do we think about Gray's performance? Neil, we've had a bit of a chat about Gray, and everybody seems quite pleased that he is doing that impact play for us. Matthew Merry's mentioning Trevor Benjamin. I thought Trevor Benjamin was all right for the level we were at, but not amazing. Chris Foreign is saying Gary Taylor Fletcher then. He liked the pies, didn't he, Chris? He certainly did like the pies, did GTF. Aaron is saying, Brett Coombs is doing pizzas. I'm not giving pizzas away tonight, Brett. Unlucky. I worry about being able to keep Maddison. This is Aaron saying this. Ricardo and Soyuncu come summer as well. Will be very expensive and hard. Ricardo Pereira, I think, is going to get some big interest from the likes of people like Barcelona and PSG. I really do. I think he is that sort of player. Chappers is saying he's been blocked on Twitter by Gary Fletcher Taylor. Chappers, it's easier to say who hasn't blocked you, mate, on Twitter than who has blocked you. Let's just assume everybody's blocked Chappers. I might go and block you now, Chappers. But oh no, I need to take your money off you again. That's what we need. Tom Hogar's doing all the pie emojis. Is up for GFT. Karen Kendall saying, what do we think about the lack of game time for Albrighton? Yes, I think that's an interesting one, Karen. Massive Albrighton fan. He's one of the first names on my team sheet. But we won. It's hard. We won, and we're third in the league. So at the moment, I'm just trusting in Brendan. So that's why, I'd like Albrighton in there, and I'm not seeing loads from Perez, but hey, it's generally been working. So we'll see with Albrighton. I'm sure he'll get his time. And Chris Forrian's putting hashtag block Chappers. Yes, Chris, let's all block Chappers. Brett saying Ricardo is sensational. Absolute pleasure to watch. I wonder what he has for breakfast. Of course he has like three shredded wheat. We all know that, Brett. That's what he has to have. Ross saying get own goal Sinclair was the guy. Soyuncu's made more tackles than Maguire this season. And Neil Mystery, let's finish with this one. Neil Mystery says, are we the best three teams in England? Which I think he means Leicester, Man City and Liverpool. Let's hope so. Let's hope Arsenal lose now. It's about kick-off. I've overrun. Sorry for keeping you all away from EastEnders or the football. But it's been good fun. I've enjoyed it tonight. Thank you very much. Leicester are in the top three as it stands. Who couldn't be excited? Who wouldn't love being a Leicester fan at the moment? If you don't want to be a Leicester fan at the moment, like somebody put earlier, that it ain't good enough, feel free. Get up that road. A46 takes you to Florist. You can watch Championship football that ain't that good. Feel free. Or up the A50 to Derby. Or down the M69 to who the hell are they? Whatever. I'm not. I'm enjoying Leicester. Don't send me that, Brett. See you all. Thank you very, very much.